It's 2021 and I'm 22 years old and I cannot stop doing this. It's starting to piss me off a little bit that this is literally still controlling my life. I remember sitting down on my floor and then lying down on the yoga mat and pulling up a video. Stepmom loves her son. And then just doing what I've been doing for the past 10 years. And every time I do it, I just feel this guilt, shame. I can't even see the light at the end of the tunnel. I've been doing this longer than I can remember, for almost as many years as I've been alive. Started around 10 or 11 years old, and I'm 22, wondering if there's any end in sight. There is, bro. And I can tell you, if you're watching this right now, you're almost there. And the reason I say that is because I know you've been cutting down. You just need that extra push, and you need to understand this mindset. Because when I was 22 years old, I met a strange man in a bathrobe. He's yelling at me through the screen. He's telling me, "Your monkey brain is causing you to do this." He's telling me that you need to develop discipline, bro. He's telling me that I needed to do the hard work, especially when I didn't feel like it. And so, one of the things that I learned as I was on this journey, getting away from this habit of watching porn and having a fried brain, is the benefits, bro. What does it give you? And the reason I'm speaking to you is because I know you're almost at that point where you're ready to stop. And what helped me bridge that gap was this advice that I heard, that the benefit of doing this never is going to outweigh the cost, and the cost is how you feel after. You can't even go up to a girl and talk to her and maintain eye contact because your brain is thinking about what's gonna happen next. Your brain can't even stay in the moment right now. And so you're almost even scared to go talk to the girl, even the ones that are showing you signs that they're interested in you. And they don't know what's wrong, but you do. So develop some self-respect. And the self-respect comes from doing the work and resisting your urges, because doing what your body tells you to do, that's the easy step. That's the path of least resistance. And I know you're on this self-improvement journey, and you know that you need to do the hard thing. But bro, I sympathize with you because this took me years to fucking quit. Years. And what happens is you actually start to desexualize your brain as a natural result of you doing this less. So if you're on NoFap, get off of it immediately. There's no reason to be counting a streak, because nothing lasts forever, and there will be a time when something happens. The sense of defeatedness that you feel when you break your streak isn't worth keeping one to begin with. Instead of NoFap, fap less. It's so simple. I wish somebody told me this years before, because I would hear about NoFap and everybody would say the benefits are so great, semen retention this, and I could only go like 3 or 4 days before I'd come back to it. And then my streak is reset and I feel like a failure. So why even bother keeping a streak when your goal was just to not have it control your life so much? Your goal was to be able to actually be attracted to real women, and they gave us this fake shit. They told us that this would make us feel better. But what we wanted was love. What we wanted was validation. We had this fucking stupid shit that doesn't really give us anything. And they trick us too. I remember I would watch these videos of skinny guys that were having sex, and it made me feel like I could be in their shoes. It made me feel like it was possible for me, without putting in any work, to randomly stumble upon a girl that's beautiful. And right then and right there, we just rip off our clothes and do it. It's this fake fantasy world. And I think deep down inside, even as we're watching these videos, we know that it's not real. But it feels real in our body. And I know that feeling. I just remember being in so much pain from not getting the attraction I wanted from women, and then on top of that, dealing with this addiction. And it's up to you, bro. Nobody's coming to save you. But I'll tell you what's on the other side so you can at least start to get excited, because I know that you're close. If you're still watching right now, I know that you've been working hard on yourself. Most people already have clicked off, but you're still here. And you want to improve. I don't have to convince you to do it. On the other side is more attraction from women than you could possibly imagine. And you see it in their eyes when they look at you. And you maintain eye contact until they look away first. And you really start to feel good about yourself. Because when you put in the work on yourself, you'll realize that the work instills the worth. And that process of improving yourself is never finished. And so you're constantly going to feel good every day, knowing that you're working hard on not only your strengths, but also your weaknesses. And this is what you're doing right now. Keep going. So to desexualize your brain, the number one piece of advice that I can give you is focus on your wins. And your wins are doing it less. The win is not getting to the point where you never do it. The win is the improvement. The win is the progress. The win is, at the end of the day, looking back and feeling proud of yourself because you made it through a day. People that have Alcoholics Anonymous and people that are addicted, they don't tell them to not drink for the rest of their life. They tell them, don't drink for one day. And then when the day is done, congratulate yourself because you put in good work. And then when the next day comes, don't drink for that one day. They never tell them not to drink for a week. They never tell them to count their streak. They just tell them to focus on one day at a time. And you should do the same thing. Every day that you don't do this is a win. And if you do it, it's okay. It happens to all of us. We all fumble on this path. And just don't sit in that guilt so much. I've sat in that guilt and it made the whole world seem like shit. I would be going to different stores to try to get food and everything was closed. My mood was fucked up. And I realized it's because of what I had done. That these small things that wouldn't usually bother me were all of a sudden magnified in my mind. Because of the guilt that I felt, because of the shame that I felt. It seemed like everybody else was wrong and I was right. Even though I knew I was wrong, so it's kind of fucked up for me to think that the whole world is wrong, but that's how I felt. Have some humility, bro. But at the same time, be able to forgive yourself when this happens as soon as you possibly can. Because holding on to that guilt doesn't help you, it doesn't serve you. A lot of people criticize themselves, and I know you do too. It's not your fault, you're probably raised by parents who are critical. It's up to you to break the cycle. Look at yourself, understand you've done something wrong, face it, fix it, make it better. This took me a really long time, and my wish for you is that as you go about this journey, you're forgiving to yourself. You don't always sit in the guilt, and that you just focus on the wins that you have, because you're doing a lot better than you were a few years ago. My wish is that you continue on this path and continue to develop in all areas, bro. I know it's not easy, but the life that we live as man is a privileged life. It is a privilege to be able to improve. So don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Are you gonna do the work? Peace.